Brr, baby, it's cold outside. Well, whether you're warm-natured or cool-natured, people struggle all year long with temperature regulation. So how do you layer up for winter to stay warm without feeling like a toddler in a snowsuit, or prevent overheating? Because you got to find that happy place to be. Well, stay tuned, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Thanks so much for staying with me. I'm Liz Kleba from Closet Play Image. We are all about bright ideas for your style and your wardrobe. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about being chilly and being warm. Now, right now for me, as I film this, it's January and we are in the cold months. I use that term loosely because I grew up in Wisconsin, and where I live here in Georgia, this doesn't really qualify as cold for northerners, but people here are freezing because the temperatures at night are in the 30s and the daytime temps are only in the 50s and the 60s, which means people are acting like it's cold outside. So, but you may just be cold-natured or warm-natured, and how do you layer up? So let's talk a little bit about that. And we're gonna have, we can kind of call this cami chat, right? A lot of it is about layers. But the first thing you need to think about is whenever you're layering, you always want to start with the lightest, thinnest layers first, and then move to the heavier, thicker layers on the outside. Now, sometimes that may seem counterintuitive. You go, well, I'm cold, I want to put on a thick, heavy sweater. Yes, you do, but you want to make sure that the thinner layers are underneath that, because staying warm is about trapping air. And the more thin layers you have under your thick layer, the better you will be trapping layers upon layers of air. So let's start with some real basics here. So this is where people get into trouble. So it's about, think about slippy versus sticky. I know, right? Your clothes shouldn't be sticky if they've come out of the wash, but some clothes slip and some clothes kind of cling, and it depends on the fiber content and how they're made. Are they woven? Are they knitted? And all of that kind of plays in. So if you just rub your hand over it, you can tell whether something is a little stickier or a little slippier. So here's a classic cami. You see these everywhere. You can get them at every price point. You see them at Costco and Target. It's just one of those little plain camis with the adjustable straps, basically all cotton and some lycra. These are great underneath layers, but they're not slippy. So when we want to layer clothing, we want to stay warm. So this is great for under a slippy blouse when you want something to just give you a little extra warmth, right? It's great for that, but it's not good under something else that's sticky. So a cotton cami under a cotton sweater, a cotton cami under a cotton shirt, unless those shirts or sweaters are really roomy, you're gonna end up with your clothes sticking to each other, which never feels comfortable because then they ride up and they just don't hang properly. So how do you solve that? Well, if you're wearing one of those cottony shirts, then try a slippy camisole. So this one is made primarily of nylon, definitely slippy. So this is great for layering under something very cottony, something sticky in the sense of, so maybe you're wearing a flannel shirt and you've got it buttoned, not like an overshirt, but just you're wearing a flannel shirt. Then a slippy camisole underneath is going to help your shirt slide better across your skin and still give you that little extra layer. So let's keep going. So here's one that I love to wear even in the summer. So now this one is almost a cross between slippy and sticky. It is modal, which is a very, very finely, very fine fiber. If I'm not mistaken, it comes from bamboo, I think. Bamboo, bamboo, boo, boo. Anyway, yeah, if you know what that is, you have small people, or you've had small people in your life. Sorry, VeggieTale reference. Anyway, so this is made from modal, and I wear these a lot year round. I wear them because they are kind of that cross between slippy, because it is such a fine fiber, and sticky. It feels more cottony, but it is definitely slippier than your average cotton cami. So, yep, this one's great too. The last two I just showed you are by Jockey. I don't even know if they're making this one anymore. I have a bunch of them, and I'll be heartbroken when they need replacing and I can't find them. Okay. So now what if you need even more warmth? So you need something a little thermal. I have two of these. Well, actually, I don't have them. They're my mother's, so thank you, Mommy, for lending them to me. They were mine. I sent them on to her. They're not the prettiest things you've ever seen. They are years old, so I will tell you that flat out. They are definitely years old, but they wear so well. So this one is a cami, and the next one as well, which is more of a tee. It's not an ad for them, but I've worn them for years. The brand is Cuddle Duds. It's kind of strange, like CUDDLDUDS. And this one, they have a lot of different ones out there, but this is cozy on the inside, so it's cottony on the inside, but they've woven more nylon into the outer layer. It's very thin, but because it's slippy on the outside, it's great for wearing under anything. So you can wear it under those cottony pieces, even a t-shirt, and it doesn't stick, but it has the cozy cotton next to your skin. This is the same combination of slippy outside, cozy inside, but in a short sleeved little tee type thing rather than a cami. So all of those are great for under anything. Oh, and I didn't mention, I hate it when I do this and I forget something. So backtrack, forgot something. So these modal tanks that I was talking about, I wear these all year long. Not only do I wear them in winter when I want a little extra layer, but I wear them in the summer as well, because if I'm wearing a shell that's kind of loose on my skin, I don't know about you, but I cannot stand the feeling, because we live in Georgia, 98 degrees, 98% humidity, hot and sticky. I cannot stand the feeling of sweat rolling down inside my clothing, and then it drops, it catches in your waistband or whatever. These really thin modal tanks, because they're so thin, they really help wick the moisture away, and they prevent that drippy feeling. And I don't really feel any hotter than I would if I was just wearing, for example, a poly shell or a silk shell. So it helps protect my clothing from my sweat, because it helps wick it away and keeps it from running down into droplets on my clothes. Because like I said, 98 degrees, 98% humidity, you're gonna sweat. What is it they say? What's that old, there's a Southern expression that women glow, men perspire, and horses sweat. Sorry. I'll just be honest about it, I sweat. So here's another, this is a long sleeve insulating piece, but you can see this is not the heavy, bulky waffle weave. Now, those are fabulous, I love them. A union suit, those are fabulous too, you know, the wool union suit. But this is gonna be really easy to wear under a blouse. It is long sleeves, so sometimes I'll shove the sleeves up if I'm wearing a 3/4 sleeve. I wear this all winter long. This is a brand called 32 Degrees. They have both heating and cooling pieces. You can find them online. So here's an example. So here's something slippy, for example. This is a little short sleeve blouse and shell. So with this, I could really wear any of my camis underneath. I'm probably most likely to wear this one, because that's gonna keep, you know, I could wear a slippy. I could even wear the cottony cami. All of those camis would work underneath here. Here I have another, sorry. So here's an example. Let me get that in there. So this is a really lightweight merino wool sweater. It is a really fine weave, so it's not quite as sticky as a lot of sweaters. Like a Shetland sweater would be sticky. Some regular wool sweaters or fuzzy wool sweaters tend to be sticky. This one has a very, very smooth hand. So basically, anything but the cotton cami is gonna work underneath it very, very well. Last but not least, a thicker, heavier cotton sweater. So yeah, I would not wear my cotton cami under here. Even though this is slightly oversized, I'm more likely to wear one of my slippy camis or an insulating cami. Or if the weather was really cold, I would wear this, because this it's a little sticky, a little slippy. It's sort of like that modal, although it's not made of modal. I'm hoping this is making sense. So think about, so that's really the thing you want to think about, slippy versus sticky. If you're wearing something sticky on the outside, you want to wear something slippy underneath. If you're wearing something slippy on the outside, then you could choose to wear sticky or slippy underneath. I often don't suggest wearing slippy and slippy because you can get a lot of static buildup. Then you end up with static cling, and then you've got things clinging to you. Speaking of clinging, here's a freebie. This is your extra tip for getting an absolutely amazing look when you are wearing a t-shirt. White t-shirt, best way to make it look sleek and just fabulous. That slippy cami. A nude slippy cami underneath will smooth all the lumps and bumps. It's a great way to, if you've got it just kind of over the top of the waistband of your jeans, to keep your shirt from riding up. It's a dream. So, little nude slippy cami hides a multitude of sins. So there you go. So, if I could only have one, I'd cry. But if I could only have one, it would definitely be these more modal kind of tee camis that are that, like I said, that kind of nice cross between slippy and sticky. I find they're the most versatile and the most wearable with a variety of different tops. So I hope that helps you just a little bit. Like I said, I'm Liz Kleba from Closet Play Image. We are here about bright ideas for your style and wardrobe. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate it. Comments are disabled here, but if you have comments or questions about style and wardrobing, please feel free to come visit me on my blog. There's a contact form there. I will link it below, and you can ask me questions there. Maybe I'll get a chance to answer them in a future video. Thanks so much for visiting with me today. Stay safe and sound and sane and stylish. Bye!